manifesto and economic blueprint. Among some of the issues we have asked the team to quickly address is to prepare a framework for the setting up and implementation of the Kenya Kwanza 50 billion yearly hustler fund to facilitate access to affordable credit to the 10 million micro and small enterprises, people, including, as we've always said, the Mamambogas, Bodas, and all the micro entrepreneurs who today access credit at between 500 and 3,000% per year, when the rest of us access credit at 14, 15%. We have also asked our team to provide mechanisms to eliminate and to bring into force a non-exploitative government-led mobile and digital loan facility as alternative to source of low interest credit to grant reprieve to the 15 million Kenyans who today are blacklisted in the CRB. They will also conceptualize the acceleration of the universal health coverage, provide a formula for equitable contribution as a percentage of one's income, and to work on implementation metrics that ensure that by December this year, every citizen will have an insurance cover under the Universal Health Insurance Plan. We have also tasked the economic team to conclude the economic transformation plan already discussed and draft necessary administrative and legislative interventions on farmers' support for subsidized farm inputs, including fertilizer, seeds, I'm talking about animal feed and seeds, and a national government-aided agricultural mechanization plan and irrigation program to enhance agricultural output. We've also tasked the economic team to prepare legislative and administrative interventions to provide for a mechanism for guaranteed minimum returns for our farmers in coffee, tea, sugarcane, maize, coconut, milk, cotton, wheat, rice, and cashew nut, among other industries. We have also tasked our economic team to also work on a rapid program on how we will deal with stalled projects, ongoing projects, and also to develop a metrics for new projects in various parts of our country. We have also asked and tasked our economic team to work out a framework for equitable resource allocation on a win-win arrangement that will ensure that we capture the allocation of resources based on population, amongst other considerations, and address the current situation. And in that formula, we have done it before. It will be a win-win formula where no county will lose its budgetary allocation, because we believe that nobody should lose for another to gain. We can always structure a win-win arrangement. And we will be able to do this, and let me repeat it again. We will be able to implement this equitable resource allocation without necessarily spending 20, 30 billion shillings to change the constitution. We have innovative and creative ways of ensuring that this can be done within the existing parameters of the law. In any case, the one man, 1 shilling proposal was actually a hustler nation proposal, and it is going to be dovetailed in our bottom-up economic program that will ensure that we build our economy starting with a majority who are disadvantaged. We have also agreed on the restructuring of our tax system, and we expect our economic team to come up with proposals for interrogation by our executive teams so that we can work on administrative and legislative measures to achieve 2 fundamental objectives: accelerate effective, efficient, and taxpayer-friendly collection of taxes to at least double our revenue collection while eliminating tax waivers for politically correct enterprises. We are very clear that the same way between 2002 and 2012, we were able to increase our tax revenues 5-fold. It is possible for us, working smart, in a friendly environment, we can double our taxes and ensure that we have the resources to retire our debt and to fund our development. The team will also provide a detailed framework on the current status of transport operations, including the SGR, and recommend measures that will reinstate economic activity in the port of Mombasa, Lamu, and auxiliary facilities for the purposes of economic revival of the coast region that has been hurt substantially by the interventions that were carried out without public participation of the people that are now affected by these operations. This team will also work on the National Land Compensation Fund to facilitate the acquisition of land from absentee landlords and other underutilized but available lands to facilitate the settlement of landless Kenyans in the coast and other parts of our country where the problem persists. And to facilitate and fast-track this process, parties that have recently joined the Kenya Kwanza Alliance have recommended the following people to work with our existing economic team, as I have said, led by Professor David Ndii. The Democratic Party have suggested the name of Justus Kariuki, who will join that team. The Service Party, under my brother Mwangi Kunjuri, has suggested Judy Muhia to join that team. Maendeleo Chap Party have suggested Morris Mudhama to join that team. Tujibebe wa Kenya Party has suggested Ruth Muthoni Mwadhi to join that team. And Pamoja African Alliance have suggested Edward Mwashinga to join the team. And Chama cha Kazi have suggested Dr. Joyce Nyamwea to join our economic team. I am very proud that these men and women will bring a lot of value to our already existing economic team as we centralize the place of the economy in our approach to this election and to the transformation of our nation. We also spend many hours discussing how we are going to win this election in round one. We have agreed on the coordination of the Kenya campaign activities around the country, and we have also agreed on modalities of how our candidate will engage in campaign for our candidates without necessarily being bogged down with unhealthy competition. As Kenya Kwanza, we are a coalition of Democrats, we are a coalition of the willing, and we are a coalition of the free. All parties will be allowed to field their candidates. We will, however, as Kenya Kwanza, empower our candidates in every ward, in every constituency, and in every county with scientific information on the performance of each and every candidate. And we will also provide a framework to encourage local agreements amongst the different parties in different electoral areas to negotiate and agree on the best approach to our alliance winning a majority of seats in every level. We will also provide a template on how our candidates will coordinate in every county and in every constituency. And towards this end, we have agreed on the following to provide leadership of our teams in the various regions. Governor Salim Vuria, Governor Amason Kingi, former Governor Issa Timami, and Mama Lydia Haika to take charge of our coast region activities and provide leadership as they involve all the candidates and all the players from all the parties in making sure that our campaign activities are seamless, they are focused, and they are fruitful. We have also agreed that Senator Johnston Muthama, Governor Alfred Mutua, Penina Malonza, Adelina Mwau, and Jonathan Mweke will take charge of our southeastern region activities, again to consolidate our position and to provide overall leadership and ensure that our candidates work with synergy. We've also agreed that our Speaker, Justin Muturi, Mithika Linturi, Beatrice Nkatha, will also involve other leaders in the Mount Kenya East region in providing the necessary leadership in that region. Honorable Alice Wahome, Governor Waiguru, Mwangi Kiunjuri, the party leader of TSP, Governor William Kabogo, Kimani Ichung'wah, and Governor Mutahi Kahiga, together with Patrick Mariro and Faith Ketau, will provide the overall leadership as they work with all the candidates and all our parties in the central Kenya region. And in Rift Valley, our activities will be coordinated by Susan Kihika, Charles Keter, our former CS, Governor Josephat Nanok, Governor Moses Lenonkulal, Peris Tobiko, and Governor Tunai, together with Senator Murkomen and Margaret Wanjala and Immaculate Shamala, will do the same in our Rift Valley region. In Nyanza, we will have Governor Obado, Okoth Obado, Charles Nyachai, Eliud Owalo, Sylvanus Osoro, and Vincent Kemosi to provide leadership in that region. And in Western region, Speaker Kenneth Lusaka, Beatrice Adagala, Benjamin Washali, Ababu Namwamba, and Emmanuel Osore will also provide overall political leadership, working with all the political parties in the Kenya Kwanza fraternity in Western Kenya region. And in Northeastern, Honorable Aden Duale and Ahmed Kolosh, amongst other leaders from Mandera, will also participate in providing overall leadership in that region. And finally, in the Upper Eastern region, Colonel Raso, Dido Ali, Hassan Tene, and Mama Wario will provide leadership in that region. Again, this is overall leadership, but all political parties, all candidates will form part of the campaign structure as we go towards this election. And finally, we had a candid, extensive, robust discussion on the subject of my running mate, who will be the running mate of the Kenya Kwanza coalition. You are aware that this process is underway, and there is a requirement by the IEBC that names of running mates be submitted by Monday. Many highly qualified Kenyans were considered in this engagement, and after lengthy, exhaustive consultations and deliberations, and having reflected on the task ahead for the Kenya Kwanza family, that engagement was not only a UDA engagement, it was also a Kenya Kwanza engagement. That is why all the political leaders from our coalition are here. I want to thank the many Kenyans, the good leaders who've shown us goodwill. They've given us advice. They've sent us messages. They've sent us WhatsApp messages. They have called us on phone. Many, I know, have prayed about this matter. And many leaders here have made their input. I want to single out the great men and women who were considered in the exercise that has gone on around the running mate issue. And I want to single out very knowledgeable, astute Samson Ndindi Nyoro, who is right here, who the people of Kenya have a lot of liking for, because he is forthright, he is intelligent, and he is passionate about the leadership of our country. I want to tell my young brother Ndindi Nyoro, you have a future ahead of you, and we will work with you. I also want to thank my dear sister, Alice Mudhoni Wahome, who was a formidable candidate. Thank you very much, my dear. And who made it to the shortlist, just like Ndindi Nyoro. I want to say that Alice Wahome is a self-made woman. She has built her stature. She's a two-term member of parliament. She has a track record in the NGO fraternity. And I want to say that she's among the formidable women leaders we have in Kenya Kwanza. Again, she made it to the shortlist. Congratulations, madam. The future is wide open. I also want to single out my good brother, the Speaker of the National Assembly, Justin Bidan Muturi, who many Kenyans pushed his candidature to the table because of his experience, his stature, and the fact that he has ably guided our National Assembly for now 10 years. And he brings a lot of valuable support, experience, and insights into our team. Again, my brother Justin Muturi, asante sana. Let me also appreciate my sister, the one and only, Mombe Waiguru, Anna, who missed it by a whisker, I must say. And she came with exceptional credentials as a woman leader, with a track record and with experience in the economic sphere. The current governor of Kirinyaga, who also made it to the shortlist. Again, Governor Anne Waiguru, I want to tell you from where I sit, the future belongs to you. It's wide open. Of course, I won't, before I come to our candidate, I want to very sincerely thank my lawyer, my friend, Professor Abraham Githure Kindiki, who came very far and became the runner-up in this contest. Again, a forthright Kenyan, a Kenyan of great standing, a lawyer par excellence, our former Deputy Speaker of the Senate, and the man who defeated that fellow called Ocampo, the current senator of the Rigathi County, who is not here with us now, but who brought a lot of experience, a lot of passion, and a lot of commitment to this contest. And finally, in the end, the consensus pointed out to an individual who scored excellent points on every evaluative parameter. An astute debater with prodigious persuasive ability, a fantastic grassroots mobilizer, a disciplined and tireless political operative, a successful elected politician and business person, a principled politician of tremendous resilience and resolve, a fearless fighter for the right cause, and an indefatigable champion of the betrayed, persecuted, downtrodden, the despised, and the ignored. A living example of a true hustler who rose from the hardships of the aftermath of our freedom struggle to the pinnacle of professional, business, and political success. We are nominating a running mate, and I have every intention on my first day in office to sign an executive order in accordance with Article 21E of the Kenyan Constitution, Article 21E of the Kenya Kwanza Coalition Agreement that will provide this Kenyan an expanded role, together with what the Constitution gives the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya. And having myself occupied that office for the last close to 10 years, I believe that that office can serve the people of Kenya better. We can get more output from the office of the Deputy President if it is not cannibalized or vandalized. And I have every intention on my first day in office to sign an executive order that will give clear responsibilities to the Deputy President. The Deputy President under the Kenya Kwanza arrangement will chair cabinet committees. The Deputy President will oversee the implementation of cabinet decisions. The Deputy President will coordinate intergovernmental relations between the national government and the county government, a function I currently undertake. But I will formalize it in the executive order. Coordinate the learning, our Deputy President will coordinate the learning and supervising, the planning, and the supervision of the implementation of development projects funded by development partners and programs under that arrangement. The Deputy President under the Kenya Kwanza Alliance will coordinate constitutional commissions and independent officers in matters that require that intervention of national government, including but not limited to budget and policy frameworks for their operation. And the Deputy President under the Kenya Kwanza Alliance will also perform real duties that will be assigned to him by the President. I say this because it is important that every constitutional office must work for the people of Kenya. Ladies and gentlemen, that good Kenyan, my friend, whom I have worked with, especially on the economic model that now has famously been referred to the bottom-up economic model. And we started that journey together. He understands people issues. He is passionate about ordinary people. My friend, I present to you the Kenya Kwanza running mate candidate, my brother and friend, Rigathi Gachagua. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And straight up, as I present my brother Rigathi Gachagua, I have agreed with him that him and me will work together with the Kenya Kwanza leadership represented here by the party leaders and other officials that we will work intentionally to mentor the younger leaders in our formation, and that we will deliberately provide room for those who are young in our formation to grow as leaders. And my deputy and I have agreed that when our time comes to leave, we will leave and we will mentor other people to make sure we have proper transition. Because we believe that part of the success of any leadership is to mentor the younger ones into better leaders as we go into the future. We undertake that we will do that for the people, the leaders in our Kenya Kwanza formation, alongside the other leaders who are here with us. We have also agreed with the Kenya Kwanza leaders seated here that we are committed to ensuring that the issue of gender, which has dogged our country since we started the implementation of the new constitution, that we will take the bull by the horns and ensure that within 1 year of our administration, the issue of gender will be sorted out, and the leadership at all levels will respect the constitutional required threshold. And in our administration, I have agreed with all the leaders here that we will start on day one with our administration, that of the 21 ministers that we will appoint, 10 will be women. And we will ensure that all other appointive positions will respect the 2/3 gender rule as we work on ensuring that even the elective, we have the mechanism to ensure that we mainstream leadership of women, youth, and people living with disability as part of our agenda of not just inclusive economic growth, but also inclusive governance. We believe that there is a wealth of experience and knowledge that can be brought on board by inclusion of all sectors of our society. I want to leave that matter there and request my good friend, the Honorable Rigathi Gachagua, to make his statement. Karibu, Mheshimiwa, and congratulations.
Thank you, Excellency. Today, I'll read a statement. In fact, I have a small speech to our presidential candidate and indeed the 5th President of the Republic of Kenya, Dr. William Ruto. I say it before you and country. I'm honored by the responsibility and faith you have bestowed on me you have bestowed upon me to be a running mate for the most defining election in Kenya's history. It is a responsibility I take pride in, knowing too well the elevation and esteem that my nomination occasions, but most importantly, one that also humbles me, that you put your trust in me, together with my colleagues, to deliver Kenyans from economic oppression. Your Excellency, the Deputy President, party leaders present, governors, members of Parliament, ladies and gentlemen, this is one of the greatest days of my life. And with humility, I'd like to thank Almighty God for the gift of life, good health, and the favor He has shown me. Many of us in this alliance know that without God, we would not be where we are today. We have seen challenges turn into opportunities before us. Hurdles we did not think we could surmount at the time have disappeared behind us, and I do not take it for granted. God has been gracious, and we give Him all the glory. I know there are many in our alliance who are qualified for this position, and any one of them would have been up to the task. Your Excellency, our Deputy President, the trust and confidence you have shown in me is a privilege, and I'll do my very best to live up to those expectations. Thank you, Your Excellency. I will not let you down. I will not let the Hustler Nation down. I will not let the people of Kenya down. In this journey, one needs a mentor like the one you have been to us. One needs colleagues and friends like the ones with me here today and elsewhere. And most importantly, one needs family that provides a pillar that equipped us with the right tools. Indeed, from the grass-thatched house, I stand here today with more than 30 years of public experience. I have been to and worked in every part of Kenya and understand the challenges that face our people in this beautiful country. More importantly, I'm confident that a determined government working with all its citizens can overcome and override the obstacles that hold Kenya back. Today, many Kenyans wake up early and sleep late, but they rarely benefit from the work of their hands or the sweat of their brow. The tools to bridge that gap are lacking. This is the plight of the Hustler Nation. Today, the ambitions of many Kenyans are frustrated and cut short owing to the criminalization of enterprise. We must free the work environment and enterprises, big or small, from harassment, seizure of goods, and prohibitive fees. I cannot wait to work with you, Your Excellency, on the guaranteed minimum return for our farmers. Tea, milk, coffee, miraa, rice, maize, cotton, cashew nuts, among other horticultural produces. Others must now become the chicken that lay the golden eggs. Your Excellency, under your leadership, I believe we can take this country to the next level. Your story has been an inspiration to hustlers and all of us all over Kenya, and I'm no exception. With the team you have assembled, I believe we have what it takes to realize the dreams of the Hustler Nation, and it will be a great honor for me to play my part, and that I will. God bless Kenya.
Congratulations, my friend. Okay, Susanna.
Thank you very much.
Gachagua, let me now begin your first assignment as my running mate, because you will be a very busy person. Your first assignment, my good friend, that we have agreed with the leaders here, is that you and my good brother Moses Kuria, who is an economist by excellence, this good man, will now offer the political leadership to our economic team. I am looking forward to you and the economic team delivering on the agenda that the robust agenda that we have assigned to the economic team. I am looking forward to you providing, because you have walked with me on this journey. You know what we need to do. You have the understanding and the knowledge on what we need to do about access to credit for ordinary citizens. You know what we need to do about universal health coverage. We expect you and the economic team now to provide for us a context of how in 45 days we will have all the economic charters for all the counties, and those counties that we have not finalized, that we will have a program so that we can conclude on our economic charters. So my good friend Rigathi Gachagua, the team here of party leaders and I expect you to hit the ground running so that Kenya Kwanza can be ready to govern day one when we get into office. So again, by the grace of God, we know that together we will journey as a team and by God's grace get to the destination that we all want. Let me now ask the other leaders who are here to make some statements. I will start with our brother, elder brother, Musalia Mudavadi, to make some comments. Please, my brother.
Thank you, Your Excellency, Mr. Deputy President, William Samoei Ruto, and our presidential candidate for the Kenya Kwanza Alliance. At the very outset, let me take this opportunity to congratulate Rigathi Gachagua, who will now deputize William Samoei Ruto in our quest to take over the leadership of this country on the 9th of August, 2022. Ladies and gentlemen, this is indeed a momentous day, and indeed yesterday millions of Kenyans were held on tenterhooks. Their nerves were racking, but now we have reached that point where collectively we own a decision, we own a process, and we shall now rally behind the Kenya Kwanza presidential candidate and the entire alliance with Rigathi Gachagua as the running mate. I just want to emphasize that there's an African proverb, and I'm sure some of you have it in your various dialects, which says that one must be very careful so that the pot of water does not break at the doorstep. We have come a long way as a people. William Samoei Ruto and his team have come a long way. Many Kenyans in the Kenya Kwanza Alliance have come a long way. And what is being unveiled here is a culmination of a process of consultations, of deliberations, so that the pot does not break at the doorstep. I think there are so many people, especially on the opposite side, who are praying that we can make a mistake, who are praying that we can have some serious division in the process of reaching where we have reached. But I thank God, and we thank all the people who participated, that your patient resilience has paid off. And if they were waiting for that pot to break, I'm sorry, it has not happened. We intend to move ahead. We intend to win. In any case, we have no other option. We have to win. We have to stand for the people of Kenya. And as Rigathi has said, and as the Deputy President has said, there are very serious candidates. He has named them here. At a personal level, I want to also acknowledge them for having participated in this process, for having been put forward. And at the end of the day, we are one team. We shall win. Because what is bigger is that the people of Kenya must be freed from the economic hardships. The cost of living is painful. Only last night, the cost of fuel went up again by 5 shillings and 50 cents a litre. The spiral effect, the multiplier effect of this is extremely painful to a lot of Kenyans. We must deal with the public debt. We must deal with corruption. We are seeing very clearly that some of our international partners, the IMF, the Global Fund, are raising concerns, legitimate concerns, that resources that were allocated to this country to ensure that our people are healthy have been misappropriated, and audits that were promised to be done and culprits be brought to book are still walking large as if nothing has happened. So clearly, as Kenyans, we have a critical task ahead of us. We must pull together. We want the IBC to do its job, and we want Kenyans to also do their job. This is not a moment to say that we are leaving it purely to the leadership. We are in it together as a people, and our opportunity to turn things around, to change things for the better, is on the 9th of August, 2022, with William Samoei Ruto carrying our flag, and we shall all rally behind. God bless Kenya, God bless Kenya Kwanza, and God bless all those individual voters throughout this republic who know what they must do and who will do what they must do. God bless you.
Thank you very much, my brother Musalia Mudavadi. Let me now ask our speaker, who was also in this race, Justin Bidan Muturi.
Thank you, President, and all leaders here present, members of Parliament, and fellow Kenyans. Today, it's obviously, as has been said by the Honorable Gachagua, a momentous day at which we have seen a successful conclusion of an extremely robust and intense consultation that I believe leaves no bitter grapes in anybody's mouths. Everyone satisfied that they had a chance. I want to confirm that as one of those fronted by both my party and other Kenyans, I am satisfied with the results of that process and congratulate my brother Rigathi Gachagua with whom I share some history. He served as a personal assistant to the current president when we, together with the deputy president, when we were doing some other things, but ended in the opposition. But my happiness today is about the democratic nature of the process that has gone into this result. The many hours that many leaders have spent, the messages of encouragement that have come from across the breadth and width of our country have all borne fruit. And I really must thank all those that have participated. And now that that part is over, we must, as we've been told by the Deputy President and our presidential candidate, the Honorable William Ruto, that it's now time for us to roll our sleeves in our various parts and go and ensure that the message of this alliance, the economic revival message, the message of hope that is embodied by this alliance becomes the clarion call of every Kenyan in every corner of the country. I therefore wish to say that, Your Excellency, we will work with you and the Honorable Gachagua and all these other leaders. It is not in vain that we spent those hours, and that going forward, those of us now, the Honorable Duale is here, knows that we have very few days and we must now go to the villages, comb every hamlet to ensure victory come August 9th, 2022. Thank you very much. God bless Kenya.
Thank you very much.
The party leader of Ford Kenya, our good brother, Senator Moses Wetangula, to make some remarks.
Much, Your Excellency, Deputy President, and now our merited candidate for the leadership of our country. Let me start by congratulating my good friend and brother, Rigathi Gachagua, for being given the role of running mate and now being our presumptive Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya come 9th August this year. In doing so, I want to urge fellow Kenyans, as people of faith, as people of hope, that now we begin the illustrious journey on our last lap to start the reconstruction of our country's economy, the restoration of our people's aspirations and hope, and above all, the restoration of Kenya's position as a team leader in this region. Among the many things that our government of Kenya Kwanza will pay attention to is the role of Kenya as a beacon of hope and peace and the giant of the East African region, the Horn of Africa, and the Great Lakes region. We are a country that has been punching below our weight in this regard, and I want to urge our leader, our incoming president, and all of us here assembled and Kenyans of goodwill that our future economic growth will, among other things, depend on how we engage our regional trading partners of Tanzania, Uganda, Rwanda, Burundi, South Sudan, Somalia, DR Congo, Ethiopia, and that many of us who have a historical traction in this regard will put in our role to make sure that it turns into a benefit to our economy. This country has many challenges, but all these challenges will be met by men and women of greater vigor, determination, and focus to ensure that our country and people of our country who have been toiling and moiling in the heat and the cold of our various weather patterns in the country will finally take the benefits of their sweat. From the cane farmer in the west and the coast, the coffee farmer in many parts of the country, the tea farmer, the rice farmer, every farmer in this country is hurting because of the cost of inputs, the inferiority of seeds, and above all, the minimal, if anything, to talk about returns from their sweat. When the president in waiting talks of GMR, guaranteed minimum returns, it automatically puts a smile on the face of every farmer who will now be going into the activities literally in what they call in other jurisdictions contractual farming. And we know it is farming that employs the bulk of our workforce in this country. I want to urge that all of us, from the young hustlers on the streets of every market and town in Kenya, to those in high offices, the clarion call is one, that the pain and suffering Kenyans are going through is not limited to those who are paining. It must touch the hearts of even those who are not in the line of the pain. Because our country, with our huge and ever-growing population, listed by the UNDP as a country with one of the best well-educated human resources, can be able to do a lot better than we do, and this will come from a focused, determined, pro-people administration that will not be focused on grandiose programs and projects, but will be focused on how to lift the ordinary person, the mama mboga in the villages, who every day wakes up with a nightmare on whether their children will have food on the table, whether their children will be in school, and whether the little possessions they have will fall in the hands of the hammer of the auctioneer because of petty borrowing. We are going to put everything in place to make every Kenyan's life worth their while, and we urge all Kenyans that there is no alternative to Kenya Kwanza. Our worthwhile competitors are focused on grandiose of consumption. We are focused on production before consumption. And that is how to grow a country. And growing the country we will. We pray that from Vanga to Kibish, from Lamu to Malaba, every Kenyan on the tip of Mount Kenya and Mount Elgon thinks positively and sees William Samoei Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua and all of us here assembled as the safest pair of hands to carry our country forward. We have tried the alternative, and we can only sum it up in the words of one writer who called it the lunatic unthinkable. We now must focus on the possibilities of the Kenya people being what they must be. May God bless Kenya. May God bless our captain and his deputy. And may all of us constantly know that we must ask ourselves what we are putting in and not what we are taking out of this journey. Thank you.
Thank you very much, the Honorable Moses Wetangula, famously known as Papa Waroma. Let me ask our sister Anne Mombe Waiguru, who was also a formidable contestant, to make her remarks. Karibu.
She will be followed by my good brother, Alvin Tua, and then my elder brother, William Kawa.
Thank you, Your Excellency. First of all, I'd like to start by thanking the Almighty God for bringing us thus far. It was a very hectic couple of days, and in those days, I'm sure everybody knows it wasn't easy. We thank very much our party leader for his patience, his endurance in leading us in this process. I want to thank the people of Kenya and our coalition for giving me the opportunity to be considered. I consider it a very great honor. As you have heard, I missed it by a whisker. And I am very confident in the choice that we have made. I want to start by passing my personal congratulatory message to our running mate, Rigathi Gachagua. I want to let you know that you have my over 150% support. I will stand with you. I will support you. And together with the party leader and the Kenya Kwanza coalition, work on mobilizing not just Mount Kenya, but the rest of the country to make sure that we bring the presidency home. That is the most important thing. We also have to thank this team for having given us certain considerations. I will not speak for long because I know the sun is hot. One of the key considerations that we have gotten, despite not getting the woman as a running mate, we have secured 50% of cabinet to be women. And that is a big, big plus. And we thank you, Your Excellency, for that consideration. We have also secured very many things. There have been very many agreements that have been discussed here. The GMR is key. But I also want to mention about the economic model that we have, bottom up, the increase of resources to the counties to ensure that development is spurred from the bottom, and also the allocation of the 1 man, 1 shilling. And we thank you, Your Excellency, and the team, Kenya Kwanza. We want you to know that you have our support. We will stand with this team completely. We will campaign like our lives depend on it, and we will make sure that you end up as the 5th president of the Republic of Kenya. Asanteni sana.
Chap, and he has told us this morning it is maendeleo chap na wanawake. So it's also maendeleo wanawake at the same.
I'm so happy about the inclusion of women in government because our mothers hold this country together. Our women are the most hardworking people in this country, and they do very well. I've been very outspoken about the right and positions given to our loved ones, our mothers and our sisters and our daughters. Mimi yangu nitaichapa chap. Your Excellency, our party leader and the next incoming President of the Republic of Kenya, our future Deputy President, Rigathi, and I want to recognize also the spouses, Madam Ruto, Her Excellency, Madam Gachagua, and congratulations. I first saw or heard Gachagua at the funeral of my fellow governor, his brother. And I asked the person sitting with me, who is that man? He was the master of ceremony. Because I found him to be very articulate and very, very smart and very, very sharp. So we're getting somebody here who I actually noticed even before I knew who you are. So congratulations. My points are 5. 1, I'm very happy to be in Kenya Kwanza. Now I can breathe. I can breathe. Here there's a spirit of democracy, a spirit of consultation. Last night I enjoyed the marathon of 17 hours because it was down my alley, discussing development, discussing how to change Kenya for Kenyans, not just for a few. Number 2, Kenya has for a long time been a country of a few billionaires and millions who are poor. Umaskini umekuwa ni kama wimbo. We want to be able to change our country. Our youth do not need, handouts. Our youth need hands up. They need to be given opportunities to thrive. Hawataki pesa ya bure, wanataka kufanya kazi. Opportunities to thrive. And so I'm very, very happy about being in this team. And quickly, number 3. Leadership is about development. It's about how we are going to transform people. And I'm so happy that my views, the views of my party, Maendeleo Chap, have been incorporated in Kenya Kwanza. Because here we work together. Kule kwingine tulikuwa tunasoma habari kwa magazeti, tunajua what is happening. Here we are being involved. And I want to tell my people, and especially the young of this country, we are looking at industrialization. We want to have factories everywhere so that our youth can get jobs. We want to be able to give you opportunities. We want to be able to, our women who have become donkeys carrying water on their backs in our country, want to transform our country, have taps. The tap that should be farthest from a house in this country should not be more than 200 meters. So we want to push that water in the household, change our lives. Our roads, I know people of Ukambani are looking at me thinking, what are you talking about? We're talking about Emali Ukia Road, the roads in Didini, Mwala Kangundo roads, connecting South Kitui with places like Malindi, some of those things that need to be done so that we can be able to improve the economy. And he forgot to tell you that even though we're getting 10%, our 10 ministers will be women, but in that arrangement, we'll have young people in government. We want young people in government. Haitakuwa nyumba ya wazee, itakuwa nyumba ya vijana na wazee. The wisdom of the older people and the energy of the youth, and continuing. And we want more money in the pocket. And lastly, let us work together as leaders. Me, I want to work with everybody here, and let us hold hands together. Our target is one, defeating the other team and getting to State House and running this country properly. After all these 60 years, it's time Kenyans enjoy freedom na enjoy kupata uhuru. Number 5, lastly, mavijana, mazeni tukaini rada, maisha na haso yako itakuwa vichapchap na Ruto. Tusare stori za kuzimia, tujipange na Kenya Kwanza na Man Ruto. Thank you and God bless you.
Tumemwambia Alfie, Mbogi iko chonjo kabisa. So, two things. Let me, there is something I missed in my statement, sorry, I think in the process of, I missed out the name of Governor Haemba from Trans Nzoia, who will be part of the leadership in the Rift Valley region, and both Rift Valley and Western, and also our friend Onesmus Kimani Ngujiri, who is our chairman, chairman of many things and many groups. Ndio mzee chairman wa Amani, chairman wa PG, chairman wa many things. And that he will also provide overall leadership in the Rift Valley alongside the other leaders that I announced. Maybe let me, just before I ask my brother William, namesake, to make his statement. My good friend Alfred Mutua has said something, but let me also, the Honorable Musalia Mudavadi and the Honorable Moses Wetangula have a function, one in Eldoret and another one in Bungoma. So they have asked to leave, and I think our two brothers, I think we can allow you to leave so that you can catch up with the other functions on the other end as we conclude this exercise. Tuwapige makofi. Asante sana. But let me also let me say something about what Alfred Mutua has said. Alfred Mutua has said there is a world of a difference between Kenya Kwanza and the other side, which is true. Kenya Kwanza is a coalition of Democrats, the free and the willing. The other side is the complete opposite. And in Kenya Kwanza, we have signed our agreements openly, in daylight, and all partners have contributed to the content of the agreements that we have signed. The other side, people are forced to sign agreements blindfolded with lights switched off. And that is why nobody is allowed to have a copy of the agreements on the other side. Fortunately for us, our agreements are available. That's why they are all over in social media and other places, because we are transparent, honest people. Some of our competitors have tried to use our agreements to try and sanitize the BBI project. We want to tell them there is a world of a difference between what we have done and the BBI shenanigans. Let me say this for the record, that the agreement you see has clearly demonstrated that you can reorganize government without spending 20 billion to change the constitution. By a stroke of a pen, we have shown the people of Kenya that BBI was actually a fraudulent engagement. It was not about the people of Kenya, it was about a few leaders. We have demonstrated that it is possible to organize government the way you want without spending 20, 30 billion to change the constitution. And therefore, there is a world of a difference, our friends. There is a world of a difference between your BBI and our agreements. Let me also tell our competitors, we have committed that we will reorganize our equitable allocation of resources to take care of population and other considerations. And we will do it again without necessarily spending billions to change the Constitution, because we are creative, we are innovative, and we are considerate. The 20-30 billion shillings that we would spend on constitutional amendments to accommodate those things, we will use it to set up the Hustler Fund and be able to get millions of Kenyans languishing today, blacklisted in CRBs. We will be able to give them access to credit that they can afford. So I just wanted to say that for the record now that Alfred Mutua said something about the Kuzimia people. Let me request my brother William Kabogo Gitau to make his remarks.
Naam, nashukuru naibu wa rais, itifaki zote zikiheshimika. Kwanza nichukue fursa hii nimpe hongera Mheshimiwa Gachagua kwa kuteuliwa kuwa mgombeaji wa kiti ya naibu wa rais akiwepo hapa siku ya leo. Pia nikushukuru kwa sababu kazi hii wewe ndio mwenyewe. Ulikuwa ni wewe useme tu ni huyu, mimi nitakimbia naye. Lakini kwa sababu ya mawiano na kuweza kuzungumza na sisi ambao tumeungana katika Kenya Kwanza na wabunge wote wa Mlima Kenya, ulifungua nafasi hiyo, japokuwa jana jioni niliona ni kama ulikuwa unajuta ni kwa nini ulifungua. Lakini all is well that ends well. Mimi nitaungana na wewe, kusaidiana na wewe na Mheshimiwa Gachagua ili kuweza kufanya campaign mrengo huu wa Kenya Kwanza uweze kupata ushindi mwezi wa 8. Leo sio siku ya maneno, kitu ningemuuliza tu chap pia angeweza kusema kwa mavijana tujibebe sisi wenyewe Kenya Kwanza pamoja na tutaunda serikali, kwa sababu tukijibeba ni sawa, tukikosa kujibeba tutabebwa, na tukibebwa tutabebeka. Kwa hivyo ni muhimu namna hiyo. Ile nyingine which is very dear to my heart, na umesema the women issue or the gender issue has dogged this country for a long time. Mimi sina wasiwasi katika serikali yetu maneno ya gender haitakuwa maneno. Mimi mwenyewe cabinet yangu Kiambu ilikuwa 70% wa mama, na sio kwa sababu mimi napenda wa mama sana. Ni kwa sababu wanafaa and they are competitive just like the opposite gender. Ile ambaye mimi nimefurahia na umeitaja hapa, no politics is local. Mimi kutoka watu wa Mlima Kenya, sisi tunasema watu ni wengi sana, na msemo wa kiserikali usema huduma kwa jamii, jamii ni watu. Kwa hivyo hiyo umetaja hapa ya kusema nyongeza ya pesa ambaye itawekwa juu ya ile ambayo tunapata sasa kwa county iweze kugawiwa kulingana na wingi wa watu, na hiyo ikifanyika tutapata marupurupu au pesa zikienda mashinani kulingana na wingi wa watu. Na nifafanue, sio kusema wale ambayo wanapata nyingi sahihi wanyang'anywe, la. Tunasema ile ambayo wanapata sahihi iwe ndio minimum, nyongeza za juu ziweze kuongezwa kulingana na wingi wa watu. Nimeona mimi mwenyewe na chapwa leo magazetini kuwa tulikuja hapa kugawa viti. mimi najua na nina hakika hatujawahi zungumza na wewe maneno ya viti. Maneno tunazungumza hapa ni kupeleka Kenya mbele na kuinua hali ya maisha ya Wakenya na sio hali ya maisha ya wachache. Nitamuomba Mheshimiwa Murathe aniwachie kidogo nafasi niweze kufanya shughuli zangu kwa sababu I am a busy man. Mimi si mtu wa kukaa bila kazi ya kufanya. Kwa hivyo ombi langu Mheshimiwa Naibu wa Rais ni kuwa matamshi hayo ya nyongeza ya pesa iweze kupata mahali ambayo inaweza andikwa, niwache kuulizwa na watu kila leo. Matamshi yako Mheshimiwa Kabogo haipatikani mahala fulani. Ningependa kusema mimi nina haki, and I truly believe in what it is that you have said here today, that the interest of the people come first, and we want to uplift the standards of the Kenyan person. Na niseme Mkenya, tukisema kujenga taifa, sio kujenga lami peke yake, wala kujenga mabarabara au ports peke yake. Ni kujaza flusi au pesa ukipenda ndani ya mifuko ya Wakenya. Wakenya wanaumia. Nataka kuachia hapo. Mheshimiwa Gachagua, usiwe na wasiwasi. Sisi ukikaa na sisi vilivyo vile tumevyozungumza, tutaweza kusukuma hii gurudumu mpaka uingie boma hili. Na ukija boma hili tafadhali jaribu utaweka hapa sijui kivuli ya aina gani, kwa sababu tumeumia siku ya leo. Asanteni na Mungu aweze kuwabariki.
Kabogo. Nafikiri wewe Gachagua umesikia, Mungu atatujalia. Kabla hujajenga hiyo kivuli hapa, jengea mahasla kwanza mahali ya kufanya biashara. Ikipaki pesa kidogo unaweza kufanya hiyo ingine. Otherwise, thank you very much, my good brother William Kabogo, on the sentiments you have expressed. As I have said earlier, the resource allocation on the basis of population was actually the rallying call of our team. And we have every intention of making sure that every Kenyan is treated equally, irrespective of where they are, and access equal resources. So, hiyo 1 shilling, 1 Kenyan is at the center of our bottom-up economic model. Many people, for example, assume that Nairobi is a country of rich people. In fact, among the poorest people live in the city of Nairobi. There are more children out of school in Nairobi city than there are in Mandera, for example. So we will tackle poverty in every place. And the people that have been suggested today in our economic team will finalize, and together we will have a blueprint that will capture all the aspirations that we believe in. Let me now request my good friend, Moses Kuria, MK.
Kabisa. Your Excellency, the incoming President of the Republic of Kenya, fellow leaders, our incoming Deputy President, my good friend Rigathi Gachagua, and all leaders present. It has not been an easy time. Tukiwaambia ilikuwa rahisi, tunaweza kuwa tunawadanganya. And as I told my colleagues yesterday, we were not looking for the best decision. We were looking for the most optimal decision, because the Deputy President is a fortunate, unfortunate man who happens to have a team that is wide, deep, and very broad in terms of expertise. it has an excess and abundance of skill and competence. And to choose one individual within those circumstances is not the easiest thing. It is not possible that all of us had to see the scene the same way, because that is why God created us as humans who are different. Otherwise, he could have created us as zebras, who are all similar. And the good thing and the great thing is that by putting our diversity together, we are able to deliver as a team, not for us, but for this country. So let me first of all recognize the individuals, our colleagues, who were fortunate enough to be on the shortlist. Wengine wetu tulionea shortlist kwa view sasa. So, Anne Waiguru, you are a great woman. You are a great lady of this country. And your concession today makes you bigger and taller in this conversation. Same as my good brother, Senator Kindiki Kidure, and the person that I was supporting, JB Muturi, who has also considered. Unajua sasa lazima JB pia mimi nitaje mimi ni jeshi yako. Lakini sasa imeishia hapo. Mimi kutoka leo mimi ni jeshi ya Rigathi Gachagua. I'm a transparent man. And so therefore, we are one big team. And as I told Rigathi Gachagua today, you are not just going to be a deputy president. You are going to be what we call primus inter pares, the first among equals, a leader of a team that is diverse, that is going to work together. I've worked with you in the transport committee where I was your chair, and you respected me as your vice chair of the transport committee. And I'm sure together we are going to work together for this country. Let me also say that we also share another deep common interest for our region. And some people think it's tribalism when you talk about regions. This country is a house, and this house is made of pillars. Last week I was with the Honorable Musalia Mudavadi and Honorable Wetangula with the Deputy President in Western Kenya, where we benefited from very deep conversations about things that affect the economic pillars of the Western region. And so every region, we are going to build a house that has got strong pillars from all regions. And I'm very happy, Your Excellency, that you have entrusted me with this responsibility of ensuring that we drive our economic agenda, working with the Honorable Rigathi Gachagua and the team. And I want to assure you that as your economic running mate, I'm equal to the task. And matters of giving Kenyans access to credit, access to capital, reviving our agriculture, and most important, creating jobs. You know, if we create jobs in this country, if we give young people jobs, this issue of even crime is going to go down and other vices. Kama sisi, Your Excellency, umenipatia hii kazi, I'll be busy. So hata watu sitatukua natukana tena. Ndio ujue ni kazi watu wanakuwa wamekosa. Tukipatia vijana wetu kazi pia, inji itakuwa safi. So those issues of one man, one shilling that we are talking about, issues of fair representation, which is very important, issues of our key sectors, coffee, tea. We are not asking you, Your Excellency, ati utusaidie na hizo vitu. Hii serikali sio yako. Hii serikali ni yetu. We are going to move in and implement them yourself. So whether ziandikwe, siziandikwe, how can you sign a contract with yourself? Because hii ni serikali yetu. Yeah, so we will implement them. Nataka kukuomba msamaha because we are not going to ask for your permission. We are going to implement the one man, one shilling. We are going to implement the equality of votes. And we are going to ourselves, working as a team, implement the revival of the key sectors of our economy. Civil service reform, because we have to reform the civil service. All these things have to be anchored within the civil service. My party has nominated Dr. Joyce Nyamoya, former PS for civil service, to join this team, which she has graciously accepted, because we want to return this country back to the Kibaki days where we had an efficient civil service. And Joyce, myself, and Dr. Mutua worked together, with Kibaki on that, and the good old days are coming back. Finally, I know this country is having a lot of anxiety today, but I want to assure this country kwamba mbele iko sawa. We are okay. We are safe. With this team, we are safe. And I want to tell my good friend, my very, very good friend, Honorable His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta, with Kenya Kwanza government, you will be okay. In fact, you will regret why you never supported it. Utasema, kumbe watu ni wazuri sana namna hii. These fears that have been spread around, that we are going to be vindictive, that we are going to run down this country, that we are going to run corrupt government, let me assure you, Your Excellency, as your member of parliament and your friend, that is hot air. It is not true. We are going to run this country in a way which we are going to say that you thank God you picked William Ruto as you were running me 10 years ago, and you thank God that you worked with this team, and together we are going to work together. And I want to ask His Excellency the President, please, this is where you belong. I still believe you belong here. If you choose to belong elsewhere, it's fine. The only punishment you'll give you is to live in a country where there's economic prosperity. God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Moses. Moses, when he's not doing those other things, is a very brilliant person. And we need his brain to help us do what we have to do about our economy. Let me request our good brother, the leader of the pastoralist community of Kenya, the one and only Aden Bare Duale.
Thank you, Excellency. And let me take this opportunity after the 17 hours marathon session to congratulate my good friend, the Honorable Rigathi Gachagua, as our deputy captain in the 9th August general election. Your Excellency, Deputy Captain Rigathi, and I'm sure you yourself, you are a manifestation and representation of the many of us leaders who were tormented the last 5 years. So, Rigathi, you have an uphill task. You know what we went through last night. We know the sacrifices, as the Deputy President said, this is a coalition of the willing, of free and democracy. So after this, Honorable Gachagua, you need to make sure that you take up the leadership as the Deputy Captain. Your Excellency, Kenya is defined. The map of Kenya is defined both, if you look at the Constitution, both in terms of the people and the size. That is how a country is defined. And because this coalition is a coalition that believes in the equity of the people of Kenya, this coalition will at all times harmonize, standardize, both in terms of resource and representation and sharing of everything, putting into consideration the land size and the population. There are those of us who believe in the one man, one shilling, one vote. And there are many of us, our history, when it is written, we come from regions that believe in 1 kilometer, 1 shilling, one vote. So you must, this coalition, I am sure, is up to the task to come to the middle ground, to make sure that each and every region and every people will have their fair and constitutional right. To Your Excellency, as we fix the economy, and more so the bottom-up economy, we must defend, and this coalition under your leadership stands to defend the 2010 Constitution. And that is why we oppose the BBI shenanigans. This coalition must respect the independence of institutions as created by the Constitution. Your Excellency, in your 100 days, you must sign and allow us to operationalize the Judiciary Fund. In our 100 days, we must give the Inspector General of Police his constitutional autonomy, both in terms of resources and operational mandate. Your Excellency, we must allow the independence of independent institutions. And under your leadership, you should not allow the use of the criminal justice system. And you saw our competitor the other day dressing down the governor of Kilifi, saying that you went through my dry cleaning at Capitol Hill. Honorable Kingi is as clean. He has never been charged of anything. You must defend, Your Excellency, those institutions in the criminal justice system, the DCI, the DPP, the EACC, the Controller of Budget, and the Auditor General. The last 5 years, they became victims of state cartels and brokers around the presidency. Your Excellency, we must all stand for all the faith and the religions in this country. You are a man of God. And our Constitution provides each one of us the freedom to worship God. Finally, Your Excellency, we have a team here. And you have confirmed to all and sundry, and that's why Kenyans were waiting for this moment, that you don't need to have a fake interview session in Serena to pick a running mate. You don't have to consult a retiring president for a running mate position. You don't need to blackmail people, particularly women and great leaders of our country, that in the morning you are the candidate. Lunchtime, there's another candidate. Yesterday we stayed here from 9 a.m. to 1 o'clock, and you gave us the opportunity to pick one of us, by the grace of God, to be your deputy. Please, we want to ask you, in the event, and we will form the next government, do not allow your deputy Rigathi Gachagua to be humiliated, both in character and person. Do not allow what you went through the last 5 years as William Ruto. Don't allow, either by yourself or your cabinet or your friends. We want you to defend and protect the constitutional provision for the position of the deputy president. And I am sure that is why you will sign, and you have said, an executive order that apart from being your single most advisor, you have given him other portfolios. Some of us who are your very close friends, we did not sleep many nights when junior officers in government humiliated you and this office. Your security was humiliated. Your budget was given to other people. Please do not allow that. And finally, on behalf of the pastoralists, because you have said I'm the pastoral leader, you are the chair when the World Bank gave $100 billion to open up the corridor in northern Kenya, from Modogashe to Mandera Highway, to electricity and water. And you chaired that meeting many times here. But because William Ruto was chairing, people in government, under the specific instructions of the president, that project is stalled. We want you to commit here today, just like the way you have committed many other things as I was watching you. As I sit down, I want you to come and commit to the people of northern Kenya that in 100 days, your government will implement, inshallah, that World Bank 100 billion project, so that since independence, the people of northern Kenya can get a road. And finally, you want you to come and commit that never again the many Kenyans who are watching me, who their sons and daughters are killed every day through extrajudicial killings by agents of state, will be a thing of the past under your administration. I want you just to come and commit those two, so that the Kenyans who are watching you will say, yes, William Ruto and has been and will be, even when he becomes the president of everybody and a man who respects the rule of law. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Dendwale. That's the voice of the leader of the pastoralists in Kenya. And I want to tell you, my brother, you have walked with me this journey many years. You know my commitment. You know where you know what we believe in. We believe in fairness. The 100 billion shillings program under the World Bank is not just about the roads. It's about electricity connection. It is about water for northern part of Kenya. And I want to commit to the people of northern Kenya that part of our 100-day program will be the unlocking of that program and making sure that that program delivers the 700 kilometers of road from Isiolo to Mandera, and also delivers water to the millions of citizens in that corner, and also lights up towns and villages in northern part of Kenya. And to also tell you that the criminal justice system will never be used again to run the politics of Kenya, and that every Kenyan must be treated equally, and all criminals must be dealt with in accordance with the law, and no Kenyan should be victimized and subjected to extrajudicial activities, including elimination. That has no provision in any law. It has no provision in any constitution. And it will never happen under the Kenya Kwanza administration, and specifically under my watch. So let me now invite my good brother, Amason Jefferson Kingi, the party leader of PAR, and the governor of Kilifi. And as Kingi comes, he is very passionate about matters coast, and he has brought a lot of wealth and experience with his brother Salim Vuria and many leaders from the coast to this Kenya Kwanza coalition. Karibu.
Thank you.
William Kabogo is asking to leave. He had come to benchmark on matters appointing running mate. And he tells me he now has the relevant lessons and he wants to go and engage in the exercise of looking for a running mate for his candidature.
See, just like my colleagues who've spoken before me, allow me on behalf of the PAR fraternity and on my own behalf to congratulate Honorable Gachagua for being unveiled as the Kenya Kwanza running mate. Your Excellency, I may not pride myself for attending this ceremony. If it was only a preserve of Kenya Kwanza, I'll be very proud. But 41 presidential candidates will do exactly what we are doing today. Whatever we do after this will show the difference between us and those presidential candidates who are unveiling the running mates like us. Your Excellency, where I come from, there is one saying that says, kuzaa mtoto si kazi, kazi ni kumlea mtoto. Unveiling Honorable Gachagua as our running mate, si kazi. Kazi ni kuhakikisha William Ruto na Honorable Gachagua, mmoja amekaa State House na mwingine anatukaribisha hapa kuanzia tarehe 9 mwezi wa 8. That is the most critical thing going forward. And therefore, as we leave this place, we have to take this ticket to every household. In Kenya Kwanza, unlike the other areas, our competitors to say, we're not taking William Ruto to every household in this country. We're not taking Honorable Gachagua to the households of this country. As we market the two of you, we are taking to the households of this country a message of hope. That's the difference. We are taking real and practical solutions to the problems facing our people. The problems facing Kenyans will not be solved through pedestrian declarations. The problems afflicting our people will not be solved through political rhetorics. The problems facing Kenyans will be solved through well thought out programs and activities tailored towards addressing the plight of our people. And that is the message we are taking home, and that is the difference between us and our competitors. Your Excellency, I'm happy because a big portion of your opening speech was lifted from agreements that have been signed. Agreements that are legally enforceable. And therefore, these are not just mere promises to the Kenyan people. These are commitments. It's an oath between Kenya Kwanza and the Kenyan person. I will not today go through the commitments that you did on behalf of PA and on behalf of the Coast people. The difference between us and them is that as we go campaigning, whatever statement that will come out of our mouths is a statement that is lifted from a written document, from an agreement that is being held by a third party. That is the difference. The other side, their policies are rather reactionary. They only react to what Kenya Kwanza has thought through. For every well thought out policy from Kenya Kwanza, there is a street version from Azimio. A good example is what happened in Mombasa yesterday. Because of Kenya Kwanza committed in writing, signed an agreement forward on behalf of the people of Coast, that when we form government on the 9th of August, the port operations in the port of Mombasa, a dedicated program, both administrative and legal reform program, will be put in place so that the economic sufferings brought about the transfer of those activities is eased out. That is thought out very well in Kenya Kwanza. We had a street version in Mombasa yesterday from Azimio. From nowhere. If you look at their policies, if you look at the manifesto, the issue of returning the operations of the port does not appear anywhere in any written document by Azimio. The statement by the presidential candidate of Azimio yesterday was reactionary, a street version of a well thought out policy by Kenya Kwanza. It is laughable and indeed an insult to the intelligence of the coastal person for Azimio to say once they form government after winning the elections of 9th of August that they will reverse the operations. Kenyans, if you look at the Azimio leadership, indeed you'll know that Azimio is the current government. If they know they did evil to the people of Coast, they can reverse it now. They don't have to wait for Mheshimiwa Raila to be president. They are government now. So to the presidential candidate of Azimio, that was a bluff. We're intelligent people. Zamani mlisema tunakaa chini ya minazi kungoja nazi zianguke. Not anymore. We, as a people, we know exactly what we have secured in Kenya Kwanza. Hence the reason why the entire coast will look the direction that Kenya Kwanza is moving. Because in Kenya Kwanza, there lies a solution to a land problem. In Kenya Kwanza, there lies a solution to our dwindling economic opportunities at the coast. And indeed, in Kenya Kwanza, our space at the national level shall be opened. Your Excellency, from the PA fraternity, you have our word that we will go to every corner of this country, every village, knocking doors with humility, unlike the other side, kicking doors as they look for votes. We will be kneeling as we ask for votes from our Kenyans. because that's what we are. And to echo what Governor Mutua, my brother Governor Mutua just said, as per, we are very happy to be in Kenya Kwanza, because finally the knee is off our neck. We can breathe, finally. Finally, Your Excellency, on the two propositions, one made by Moses Kuria and the other made by Honorable Adan Duale, I believe the team that we put together, the economic team that we have put together, that is their first task. Let them return to us a verdict that will make a Kenyan in Makueni, in Kilifi, in Kirinyaga, in Kisumu, be proud, because they're in a country that values fairness and equity. I thank you.